AITA for refusing to shave my head in solitary with my cousin? I, 15F. Have a cousin, Anna, also 15F. We spent every minute together growing up and I only ever really think of her as my best friend. Not as my cousin. A few weeks ago, Anna got diagnosed with cancer. I won't go into the details, but it was a shock to all my family, and while the doctors said she should survive with treatment, they suggested she start chemo ASAP. I haven't been going to school much the past weeks and have been staying at their house most of the time. Anna has difficulties making friends. And I think she just wanted to be with someone she actually trusted. Not that she doesn't trust her parents, but it's a different kind of trust. Obviously, it's a horribly situation, but she's taken it reasonably well considering the circumstances. She decided to shave her head before starting chemo, and booked an appointment to get it done. A few days before the appointment, my aunt invited me and my mum over and told us she was going to surprise Anna by shaving her head too when she was out getting hers done. We thought it was a great idea, and I know it would mean a lot to Anna. However, she then asked my mum and I to do it with her. My mum agreed, but I didn't want to. I know it sounds selfish, but I know Anna and I really didn't see how me not doing it would have a negative impact on her. I didn't want to stand out at school or have anyone say anything about it. I'm aware how bad that sounds since Anna doesn't have a choice. But that's really my only reason. My aunt got angry and started yelling at me, saying I was selfish and didn't care about Anna at all. She wouldn't let me explain and called me an asshole. She told me to go home, and that I wasn't welcome back to her house. She said if I actually wanted to help Anna, I would do this one little thing for her, and I clearly didn't care about anyone but myself. My parents thought what my aunt did was unfair, but I couldn't blame her considering how much pressure she was under. I agree, but I don't really care about her apologizing. I just want her to let me back into Anna's life. The ironic part of I secretly texted Anna and told her what happened. And she said that she didn't care at all whether or not I shaved my head. I haven't been able to see her since, despite asking my aunt many times to hear me out. And she's still saying until I shave my head I'm not welcome. So, AITA? NTA. Your aunt is clearly struggling with this recent news and is misplacing her anger. By doing this, however, she is upsetting you and her unwell daughter. Support is immensely important when it comes to recovery. Your cousin needs you, and your aunt's hang-up is going to cause her a huge deal of unnecessary stress. Perhaps you could come up with something else so your aunt feels like you and others are actively doing something to help. Maybe a small fundraiser so your cousin could treat herself to some comforting items for her recovery journey, for example. I'm sorry your cousin and yourself are going through this additional turmoil, and I hope your aunt sees the error of her ways very soon. However, she then asked my mum and I to do it with her. Where I come from, when you ask a question, you are prepared to hear any possible answer, including no. People who ask questions only expecting the answer to be what they want it to be are assholes. NTA. NTA. It's a big thing to even ask. Your aunt is very much tough for expecting a yes. NTA. There are many other, better ways to support Anna. Shaving your head in solidarity may mean something to certain people, but in many cases it's just a publicity stunt. NTA. Your aunt seems to be taking this news very hard. She needs therapy. I get the shaving my head in solidarity thing if it's your choice, but to remove your child's support network because they've said no when their child is okay with them saying no is a red flag. Bring this up with your mum and Anna. This is something that needs to be nipped in the bud before it gets worse. The ironic part of I secretly texted Anna and told her what happened. And she said that she didn't care at all whether or not I shaved my head. There you have it. NTA. Op. My guess is that this is about your aunt coming to terms with her daughter's illness. It's not really about you. It's a terrifying time for her. Which doesn't justify her behavior. My guess is that she's redirecting feelings in your direction. I wonder if there are family counselors at your cousin's hospital that might be willing to facilitate a constructive discussion, at least with your cousin. Or perhaps with her and her mom. Or all three of you. Regardless, this isn't your job to fix. Shaving your head is not the issue here. Just keep in touch with your cousin as much as you can and keep trying to be there for her during this scary time. NTA. Your aunt must be stressed out. I'm sure. But she is hyper-focusing on shaved head as the only true commitment to support, when oftentimes, as in this case, the person involved doesn't even want it or get much out of it. Real support will be being there for her, listening to her, and actually doing things with her and for her. Your aunt is preventing you from being able to do that. Shaving your head should not be the price of admission to her support team. Maybe your mother can get through to her that she will be actually hurting her daughter by keeping you and her apart, and that it's the day-to-day support that really counts. Not one flashy gesture. NTA. Your aunt found a convenient target for her sadness and anger about her kid's cancer. And unfortunately it's you. I'm really sorry you have to deal with both your own emotions about your best friend and cousin, and your aunt's displaced grief. Not shaving your head is not wrong. This kind of question comes up now and then on Reddit and other forums. As a cancer survivor, my answer is always, why? Why do people think that the shaving of their head will somehow make things better for the patient? I mean, it was bad enough that I lost my hair. Why would I want my relatives to lose theirs as well? The one thing that I needed while going through this was friends. Support. Chicken soup. Comfort. Phone calls. Sitting with me at the hospital. And that's the thing that your aunt is taking from her daughter. NTA. NTA 1000%. Your aunt is taking her anger out on you. Sad your aunt is creating drama when that's not what best for Anna. NTA. I never understood why people shave their heads for friends, family having chemo. The hair grows back. I knows it's for support. But it's up to each person if they want to. And not everyone loses their hair during chemo. NTA. This is the kind of thing you ask the person impacted by. You don't surprise them by doing it. She may not even actually lose her hair doing chemo. That's not a given these days. And besides, it's your hair. Someone else shouldn't be telling you what to do with it. NTA. Because you would be shaving your head for your aunt, not for Anna. NTA. I kinda cringe when people immediately jump to shave their heads when they hear chemo. Not everyone loses their hair with chemo. There are also ways to slow down the loss of hair. Ice caps have helped lots of people. And as others have stated, her hair will grow back. There are so many other ways to support someone going through this than by shaving heads. Just feels attention-seeky. And some cancer patients absolutely do not want any extra attention. Aunt needs to ask before she does these things. NTA. It is totally your choice. I understand that it must be a worrying time for your aunt. But seriously, you're a child and she's an adult. She could do with remembering that. NTA. Emo. It loses its meaning when you are forced into it. It is perfectly fine to not to want to do it. Everyone shows their feelings in different ways. You are just fine showing it your way. Her mom needs to see a professional. NTA. Is a former cancer patient who lost her hair and needed to shave it off. I hate people who do that. I believe her mom does it out of grief, but it is nearly never supporting the cancer patient and quite often done by attention-grabbing people. Oh my God, my friend has cancer. How can I make people understand how much I am affected? Chemo isn't just losing hair. The combination of all makes it really horrible. I don't know, I just hate it. Even if your cousin hates it as well. She probably will not voice it to her mom because as a child you feel so bad to bring this news. The cancer. To your parents. At least I did. NTA. Aunt is bonkers. There was another post about shaving heads in solidarity a while back. There were a lot of comments about how pointless and stupid doing it is. Shaving your head before the hair falls out can create problems by burying the roots. A short haircut is what should be done. NTA. It sucks that Anna has cancer and has to go through that. But that's not your fault or responsibility. Anna has already said it does not bother her. So I don't understand why your aunt is making such a fuss over it. NTA. And your aunt is projecting. Her child has cancer. Her emotions must be going nuts, and unfortunately this is the way she's expressing them. It sucks that she's basically punishing her kid by keeping you from hanging out. But I don't think you're going to be able to do anything. Another adult needs to step in and talk to her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.